and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing an install and a review of the new crossbars from Tlyard. So the box that I have here, I'm going to go ahead and open it up, has 2 of the crossbars in there. I'm actually going to be doing 4, and I have another box just like this, exactly like this out in my garage. But again, these have just the 2 crossbars in them. And again, I'm going to be doing 4 total. So what comes included are going to be the mounting brackets. You've got 2 R's, R2s, and 2 L2s, which is the left and the right. Comes with the tool you're going to need to install it. Comes with the actual crossbars here. These things are really heavy. You can tell they're really secure. The research that I've done so far on them shows that they're going to hold about 130 pounds a piece. And around 400, or excuse me, around 500, a little over 500 when you have something all the way on across all 4 racks. So pretty cool. I'll put the final statistics at the end so you know exactly, but it looks like a pretty easy install. So what I'll do is I will meet you out at the car here in a couple minutes. Again, just like all the other videos, I'm going to be adding the description and links below to Tlyard along with all of their products. I'll put a discount code there. You'll be able to get huge discounts. I think right now they're doing about 20% off if you use my code. So I'll see you out in the car and we'll get this install going. All right, we're out at the vehicle and let me show you what was in both of the boxes. So the kit comes in 2 different boxes for a couple reasons. You can do different setups. So one box is going to have kind of the 2 that go here across the rear. The other box comes with the ones that are going to go across up here. So if you elected to just do the back ones or just do the top ones, they are different sizes, so that's why they come in different boxes. As you can see, I've laid everything out here. So for the 3 that are in the back, you have an L2 and R2. So those are going to be the, as it's going up, the vehicle. And then at the very top, you see this R1 and this L1. Those ones you can see are just taller. Because as you can see the curve of the vehicle, it actually kind of starts to slant down a little bit. And so it wants a little bit more height to keep that roof rack more in line. So that's the only difference, are those 2 top ones are going to be a little bit taller. And then you can see as far as the 4 racks, they're level in the back here, but you can see kind of the difference. And what's going to happen is the one in the back is the widest and the one at the top is the narrowest. So that's how we're going to put them on. It comes with everything that you're going to need. Again, it comes with all the bolts, all the screws. It comes with the tools that you're going to need to put them on. So you've got, there was 1 in each kit. That's why there's 2 of each to put those all together. And it's pretty simple. You can see on the instructions here, it tells you exactly what bracket needs to go where on your Cybertruck and what crossbar needs to go where. So it is going to be super simple. I'll come back in a second and we'll start the install. All right, the first one that we're going to install is going to be L1. So all the L's are going to go on the left-hand side of the vehicle if you're facing it. If you're in the back and you're looking up, so the driver's side is going to be L1. And what the first thing you need to do is going to be take the screw out, because this is just a cover. So we're just going to unscrew this little cover here. And we'll take that off. Take these off too, because we're going to need to access that. And that's what we want to get to. So again, I'm going to use my own tool. It's just a 10 millimeter. You can use a ratchet. I'm using a nut driver. And then I'm going to need to show you up here how to put this in. So if you want to jump up here, if you could see this here. These are so nice that all you've got to do is push on these and they just open up. And they're going to be able to stay there as well, which is really cool. So there's 2 nuts in there. I don't know if you can see those. Those 2 nuts. We're going to take those off. Again, if you wanted to use power tools, it'd probably go quicker. I may even switch to that just to save me some time. We'll see here in a second. But I'm going to do this one just by hand at first. I always like to do at least the first one by hand, just so I can make sure I'm not over tightening it or that I don't strip anything, just to kind of see what I'm working with. So these came off pretty easy. And these were just the factory nuts that are on here. and I'm going to use the factory nuts just to go right back on. You'll see as we get further down the vehicle that they will have the posts there, but they will not have the nuts included, and that's when we're going to use the nuts that they include here. So that one is off here. Once we have that removed, again, we're going to take L1 and we're going to put it on just like this. What's nice about these as well is this is a rubber piece here, this little seal there. So if you're worried about going on this little plastic piece there, you know, it's nice. There's a little piece of rubber that's actually going to be sitting on there, so it's not going to be metal on there. And then what we're going to do is just put that nut right back on. And that's literally how simple it is. We'll just get that one started and start the other one. I love that we don't have to mess with it. If I decide I'm going to take these off, if I don't like the look or I'm just not using them, I can easily take these back off and just fold those little flaps back down, and you wouldn't even be able to tell. I know there's other accessories that go on this as well. A light bar they make for this I've seen out there. So this would work exactly the same there as well, if you're going to be adding the light bar. That is it. So that's how this is going to go on. I'm going to flip over to the other side and show you the right. Obviously, it's going to go on exactly the same. I'm just going to put these pretty snug on there, and then we'll show you the crossbar going across, and we'll be done doing the first one. I'll see you on the other side in 1 second. All right, here we are, right-hand side. Again, R1. It's the tallest one. Same exact thing. We're going to go ahead and take off the cover. So we're just taking the screw off. Once that's off, we'll go ahead and take the nuts off here again. One thing that's nice about having the running boards, if you don't have the running boards, you're going to have to use a step stool to do this install, unless you're a lot taller than I am. But having these running boards, I can easily just step on them and get right back up here. The other thing that's up here as well that you're going to have to maneuver around is you're going to have this wire here, and what this wire for is when they go to do the install of the front light bar. So we're not going to mess with this. We're just going to hide it inside, but that is going to be on this side. So it's nicely wrapped. It's all covered. It shouldn't be in your way at all when you go to do it, but that is just part of the factory setup there. And I think for my install, I'm going to go to my power ratchet next to get these, just so that it'll go a lot quicker for me. But this install anybody should be able to do. Super, super easy. I'm guessing it's going to take me less than 30 minutes and they'll be all done. And I'll let you know at the end of the video how long it took. These things just stay firm the whole way off, which is nice. I know that they'll stay on there. Okay, got both of those nuts off. Again, I'm going R1, which is the biggest one, the tallest one, and we're going to set this right in there. So what I'm going to do is just kind of I'm going to move this kind of out of the way and get that set in there. And then that little wiring harness will just stay right inside. It'll stay right there. Make sure this is going down all the way. This one does not seem like it's sitting 100% flat, but let's just check this out real quick. There we go. So same thing, we're going to just put these nuts back on. We'll be done with this second one, and we'll go ahead and put the crossbar on next. Get that one started. Again, this is going to go a lot quicker using a power tool, but it is not necessary. As they do include the tools that you'll need to do this install, which is nice. All right, and that is it. Both of those are installed, and I'll be back in a second to show you the crossbar. All right, we're going to be doing the top one, the most forward rack. There's two sides to it, so there's just kind of this flat side, and then there's the part that has the rubber on it. The rubber is going to go up, and that's for when you're sitting things on top of the rack. And this rubber stuff is going to move a little tiny bit. So like here, it looks like it's covering the screw hole. You can move it around, so you can move it out of the way. And we'll have to kind of play with it as we're getting the screws. So the two screws I'm going to do on this side are going to be just the star there screws, and we're going to just start this side through here. I also put a washer on there, so there's going to be one washer on each one. And again, it's pretty self-explanatory. We're just going to sit it on that other side, and we're going to put this on. Again, you want to be careful, always keeping pressure off of not allowing this to drop. So if it does slide off of the other rack over there because it's not secured, it doesn't fall and land and crack your roof. So again, keeping that pressure on there. And all I'm going to do is start these. Grab my tool here. Again, I'm just using the one that they provided. I'm going to start those in. And once that thing has started, we'll get this other one in, and then we're going to just jump to the other side and get those started as well. And then we'll come back and tighten them all. But we want to make sure that we start them all first. And that's it. Those are both started. It looks like that may slide. So what I'm going to do is shut off the camera real quick and have somebody grab the other side just so that it does not slide off. If you look up here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. When I'm letting this go, it's kind of sliding back, and I don't want it to fall. So I'm just going to make sure it stays here till I go to the other side. So I'll see you on the other side. All right, now we're on the other side. You can see we're going to do the same thing. We've got this bolt, one washer, and we're going to line that up there. Start that one in there. Next one, again, we got the bolt, the washer. See, this one, we got to move that little rubber piece a little bit. And that's it. So I'm going to let these, I'm not going to tighten these. I'm going to leave them loose. I'll show you why here in a second. Actually, I'll show you why now. So as we put this top piece on, there's going to be these two holes here that have these plugs, and we can undo these plugs. And that's so that we can get this tool down there and give them kind of their final tightness. And that's really what we want to do. We want to be able to set this on and make sure that it seats properly. And that may take some adjusting. So now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and put the final screw in. I might have to get a little bit up. There it goes. get started. There we go. If you look from this side, you can see there's little channels here that has to sit down in. So make sure you get them into those channels. And then again, I'm not going to tighten everything. I'm going to get everything sitting. Make sure everything's perfect. I'm going to do the other side and then I'll come back and tighten it down. But that's it. That's the install of that first one. Super, super easy. Like I said, should take you about 30 minutes to do the whole thing. I'll come back. I'm going to do the two in the middle, and then when I come back, we'll finish up on that third one. These are all identical the way that they go in, and we'll be all done. So I'll see you here in a second. All right, so we're on the final one. You can see we've had the 3 that are on there so far. The 2 back ones, again, do not have the nuts on the posts. I'll show you what I mean when you flip these things open. If you look in there, there's not the nuts, but they do provide them. So there's going to be a washer and a nut that we're going to use. It actually makes it easier because there's nothing to take off first. Again, I've already taken the cover off. We're going to take the L2. Again, it's the 3 L2s and then an L1 at the very top, and that's going to be the tallest one at the very top. But again, we're just going to slide this on here. We're going to take our washers, put them on there. The other thing I will tell you, take your time. If you drop one of these washers or nuts, they can go inside the body of the truck. So just take your time and make sure that you don't drop it, because I had done that, but I actually caught it before it went down in there. We're going to use, I did switch to a power tool. It made it so much quicker. You'll be able to see. They go on there so quick when you use power tools. So I switched. It's not necessary, but oops, this one I did not get on there all the way. Oops. And that's what I told you not to do. I'm going to stop for a second. I can see the nut is right there. I'm going to grab a magnetic tool that I have and pull it out, and then we'll tighten those up. I'll be right back. All right, so what I did is I grabbed my little magnetic tool here. I reached down in there and was able to get the nut out. So obviously these are good to have on hand in case you do drop something. You can grab something pretty easily, but I've started them again, and all we're going to do is tighten those. Oops, so I'm going to back that off a little bit because it's not straight. So I'm going to hold this on there straight. See, I'm lining this up. That's what I'm trying to get straight right here. And that's it. So that side is done. We'll jump onto the other side, do the same exact thing. Again, these are all the R2s and then the R1 at the very top. So we're going washer, then nut. Actually, we're going to start those on here. I'm going to say you can probably do this job in about 25 minutes if you have an automatic wrench like this. If not, it's probably going to take you around 35 minutes, but still super, super easy. Try to line that up again. Get that kind of hand tight. All right. And that is it there. And I'll show you the last piece here. I'll be back in 1 second. We'll put the bar on. We'll be all done. All right, we're on our last bar here. This is the longest bar. So the longest bar that it comes with should be coming at the rear. This is the longest spot. Again, we're going to take these. They're all identical. All 4 go on exactly the same. We're just going to start that one there. Same thing. We've got that star bolt along with a washer on there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use the tool that's provided. We're going to start this thing. I'm going to show you something here. Oh, that didn't seem like it started very well. I'm going to show you a little something that I kind of figured out on one of them. That'll make it a little bit easier for you. I'm going to slide this more towards the back here. These rubber pieces sometimes will be too far up, and when you're trying to put the cover in, it won't let it go down. So you do want them kind of about right there. This one has to come back a little bit towards me because, again, we want it close here, but not in the way. You'll see what I mean on the other side. We're going to go ahead and start this one in. Oops. Oh, that's the other thing too, is on the rear ones, if these things fall down, it's on plastic. I'm not necessarily as concerned. I mean, I don't want to let it just keep falling, but it's not that big of a concern. So now that these are started, I'm going to go to the other side real quick. We'll start these two, then we don't have to worry about it. And you can see here how this rubber piece is just so far up here. I'll show you what we're going to do here in a second, and I'll show you why it's important to have that out of the way. So we're going to start that one there. And we're going to start this final one here. There we go. All right. So we're going to want to push that thing back. Use this tool if you have to. And the reason why you want that as far out of the way as you can is because when you go to put this top back on, actually now that this is done, let me get these things fully tightened and I'll show you. The other thing too is you're going to want to hand tight these. If you look in here while I'm doing it, you can actually see just hand tightening them that the washer will start to bend. And you just don't want it to go. Once it starts bending a little bit, it's a lock washer, just let it sit there and don't go any further past that. But anyway, I'm going to push this thing out of the way. The reason are these plugs. These plugs, when you go to put them in, if that is in the way, it's not going to allow that to sit in there. So I've slid it back, and now I've lined that up. Started this. And we're going to be all done on this side. I'm still holding this little plastic piece back out of the way until I'm done here. And we're going to be all done. Go to the other side, put the cover on, and we'll give you some final thoughts on it. Again, just hand tight. It'll start bending if you go too hard, but you want to make sure that these plugs are all the way down, because sometimes they'll look like they're down, but there's a little gap. You don't want any wind to get under there and blow them off there. So I'll show you on the other side again, same thing. Make sure those rubber pieces are pushed back. We're going to tighten these down, make sure that they're tightened. And, oops, I'll have to grab that. I just popped off one of those little caps. And that is it. Oh, you can see that, oh, there it went. It popped down. All right, that is done. Let me grab the other cap I dropped on the ground. Here we are. And we will pop that down. The other thing too is if you go to put this in and this isn't going down, you'll be able to see the little rubber pieces in the way. You can use this tool, I did it before, to kind of push that rubber piece back in there, and then this will slide back down if you do run into that anywhere. But super easy to install, looks super cool. These things are so sturdy. Again, I believe it's about 130 pounds that each one will hold, almost 500 pounds or maybe even a little bit over 500 pounds if you have something all the way across, so that weight is expanded over all four. But yeah, super easy to install, cool. I'm excited to use them. I'll probably be putting ladders up there. I do use this truck as a truck, and so I'm always putting things on there, loading up the bed and everything else. So I'll do a couple pictures here at the end so you can kind of see a before and after, but that is it. Again, you're going to, in the description, you're going to see some links down below for discounts and other things that Tlyard offers for your Cybertruck or any of your Tesla vehicles that you may own. So again, thanks for watching. Subscribe. Hopefully this was informational for you. I got a couple other videos coming up soon, so I'll see you again then. Take care.